as a viewership, I know that you prefer to watch videos I make about Monty Don than I do when I make videos about Alan Titchmarsh. And both of these are really good gardening presenters. And like my very own children, I can't have favourites, so I like them equally. But in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Alan Titchmarsh's last minute jobs for December. And all of these are really good because if you can get these done, if the weather is still mild, if the ground is still workable, you can get these plants in, get yourself some really valuable winter ornamental displays, and also get some early work done on your spring displays too. So let's get to it. What are Alan Titchmarsh's last minute jobs for December? Oh, and before I go, he also lets us know which plant is his favourite when it comes to winter flowering plants. It's not one we've actually discussed in any of our videos before, and I'll put that on the end and you can mention whether you like it or not, or give out any great suggestions that you also have for winter flowering plants. So let's get on with job number 1. The first two flowering plants I want to talk to you about are your cyclamen and also your tulips, both of which provide the garden with big, bold blooms, and probably the best of the large, flowered, brightly coloured plants that you can get at this time of year in the spring. Regarding your cyclamen, you're looking most likely at the laser series of hybrids, and they're a fantastic group, really, really hardy. But there's a problem. The problem is this: they are grown in these huge industrial greenhouses and under protection, which means by the time they get to the garden centre, they have not been hardened off to outside conditions. So if you go to the garden centre, pick it up, buy it, put it in the garden, you get a frost, and your plant will be ruined, quite possibly killed off by that first hit of the cold weather. So whenever you buy these, harden them off a little bit first, get them used to the cold, put them out during the height of the day, bring them back in under protection, and then bit by bit over a period of a week or so, allow them to get used to colder and colder temperatures before you start planting them straight out. If it's mild now, like we have at the moment, then you can plant them straight out absolutely fine. But really, these will need hardening off to get the best out of them. And with regards to your tulips, it's actually a really, really good time of year to plant these because of the risk of tulip fire that seems to be spreading across the country. At least we do have that here in the UK. And come beginning of December, especially on the south coast, the ground is still workable. We haven't had our cold weeks of freezing temperatures, so you can get them in now and really reduce that risk of your tulips catching tulip fire and completely devastating your early spring displays. Honestly, it's absolutely heartbreaking. Now, I have a list of what Alan Titchmarsh recommends with regards to hardy winter flowering shrubs. We're talking about plants you can put in, forget about them, and every year, so long as they survive, they will keep producing a winter flowering display. I'm going to read them off the list simply because there's a few on there, and plus there's another load of plants I'm trying to remember in my brain so I can discuss them all at the same time. So, regarding the first one, she's talking about witch hazels, or witch hazel, hamamelis, wonderful plants. Really enjoy those with their sort of like quite unusual ribbon-shaped blooms, some fantastic colours. I know they will tolerate semi-shade to full sun, but where I do see these growing in sort of woodland areas, like you see at RHS Wisley, they just don't produce a particularly good display. So if you're growing those, put them in full sun, put them somewhere. You can put them at the back of the borders if you've got deciduous plants in front so that they're not hiding everything. Because let's be honest with you, they're a bit boring most of the year, and you do get a little bit of ornamental colour on them, but it's those blooms. Pick your varieties carefully, choose the colour forms that you really, really like. But it's a great choice. Second one is put on Winter Sweet, which is, I believe, your Chimonanthus praecox. Praecox meaning early flowering. But whenever somebody mentions Chimonanthus, I always go, I just prefer the Stachyurus, which is I just love the way those bell flowers on the drooping down a little bit like curtains, neck curtains. Love that one. It's not on his list, it's on my list. I really like that one. I definitely recommend it if you can ever find it for sale. You very rarely see that one anymore. Winter jasmine, yellow flowering, bit boring. I mean, it's fine if you want that sort of thing. Viburntinus, well, I mean, if you're planting your local council roundabout, I mean, that one's been done to death. I mean, don't particularly like that one either. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, hold on a minute. If you're finding this video useful or even just mildly amusing, then don't forget to click the thumbs up, press on that subscription, and if you want to be notified of whenever we release a new video, then click on that notification bell. It helps us more than you know, and it allows us to do stupid visits like this in the future. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old boiled butt has to say. Put my bloody glasses back on. Too hot, too sunny. It's too lovely. Oh yeah, don't forget plants like your winter bogs, which is your Sarcococca. That's not a funny name. Don't forget your Daphnes. What a wonderful group of plants there. One of the interesting things or important things about planting these winter flowering shrubs, and I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, the flowering tends to be quite weak, although the fragrance is usually very, very strong, is the fact that these flowering plants are attracting insects at this time of year. And you know full well there are very few insects around in the winter. There's just not much about. But if you can attract insects to your garden at a time when there are very few about, then that means your insect eating birds can still find a meal at a very difficult time. So you're benefiting the greater wildlife in your garden by planting these plants, even if you don't particularly like to look at them yourself. Because let's be honest with you, when there are few insects about, there's no point putting up a nice pretty flower, because the insects are going to be far too far away, and that's why they produce these very strong perfumes, because that will go further afield and the insects will find the blooms that way, using the scent and not the color. That's just a little thing. So enough said about that. If you've got a particular favorite winter flowering plant, then stick that in the comments too, because if we can get some really good ones together in the comments, then that helps other people who want to find a winter flowering plant that is also interesting to look at or has a characteristic that they prefer. So there you go. Do that one thing. Now, many of you would have already put your gardening clothes away, oiled up your tools, put that in the shed, and are sitting in front of your open fire drinking a lovely glass of wine. But there is a fantastic opportunity to get some really well-priced plants and have them established before the winter comes. And we're talking about bare root plants, which used to be a really common thing back in the day, and that you really don't see anymore, although you will still find them available for sale on your online retailers. Now, Alan Titchmarsh has pulled up sort of 4 groups of plants. He's talking about bare root trees, which are usually fantastic value. Your bare root roses, again, so expensive when you buy them as established plants in pots. Unnecessarily so, in my opinion. They're probably at least costing twice really what they should be. But also he recommends that you look at purchasing your currants, like your white currant, your red currant, your black currant, and also raspberry canes. Again, it's really good advice. It used to be standard practice to pick these plants up now and get them in the ground, but now we seem to be forgetting them. But it just seems to be the way of the world nowadays. We forget the old practices, and you know, you pay the price for it, normally in your pocket. But there you go. A great piece of advice from Alan Titchmarsh. So now some actual work for you to do, and that is regarding your soil. This time of year, Alan recommends putting down your mulches. Now you get two types of mulches. You get your nutritious mulches, such as your blended farm manures or leaf mold or household compost, and then you get your dry mulches like gravel, like bark, pine needles, something that has plenty of air pockets in that will protect the roots in the soil from ground penetrating frost so they survive the winter. So we're talking about those half hardy plants that need a little helping hand. He recommends doing that now. I would probably wait a little bit because I like everything to have died back and nothing coming through like bulbs. So for me, probably in about a month's time. But anyway, this is Alan's list. This is what he's saying. And not only, and it's great. I mean, firstly, putting down dry mulches, that is an underused technique for protecting your plants, saves bringing them in. And also, it is a great idea. Put down these rich, nutritious mulches because over the winter period, they break down, feed the soil, ready for the spring when the new growth comes. So, two great ideas. But he also mentions about adjusting your pH of the soil. If you've got plants that are either in the ground or that you intend to buy and your pH is either too high or too low, as in too alkaline or too acidic, and again, it's a great time to get these products into the ground to acidify or alkalinify. That even a word? Do it now because then you've got time over the winter months for that to take action and be ready for the spring. So again, two really good ideas. And he also talks about bringing in to shelter valuable, more tender plants. So if your greenhouse isn't prepared to take these plants and you haven't done it yet, good chance that the frost have already killed them off, because it's a bit late to start talking about that. And he also is talking about protecting some of your plants, such as your bananas, such as your bird of paradises that you might have had out. We are lucky in this country to have areas that are really, really mild, especially on the southwest coast. So a lot of things you can get away with there, you're not going to be able to get away with in other parts of the country. So just got to be very careful, very sensitive to which plants need protection, need bringing in under protection, or having some additional protection while they're still outside growing. So there you go. Again, really good advice. Take note. Don't dismiss him because Monty's on the telly. So, Alan Titchmarsh's last piece of advice, and that is to put in your garlic, your cloves, put in your onion sets, which are like small bulbs. Get them planted now, but get them planted into pots. I mean, that's fine for garlic, but I mean, we eat a ton of onions, so a pot full of onions is not really going to go very far, but that's not the point. The point is that you can get them planted now. If the weather turns horribly wet or horribly cold, because it's growing in a pot, you can lift that pot, put it somewhere a bit more sheltered so that you can keep them protected. You don't kill them off. You can still get a bit of a crop come the new year. So there you go. Look at garlic, look at onions. And that's it. Those are all the jobs that Alan Titchmarsh recommends you do now, quickly, before the winter sets in, because it helps to get you a bit further ahead later on in the year. And yes, that plant that Alan recommends as his most favourite winter flowering plant, well, it's this. It's the Viburnum bodnatense Dawn. It's winter flowering. In fact, I think I've seen some already in flower around here. What do I think of that plant? You know what I'm like. Anyway, any thoughts, put that in the comments. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we will see you in the next video. Don't dismiss Alan Titchmarsh. He is commercially trained. He knows his stuff. Monty Don, that's a different thing, because he's not. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description. You can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.